RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour. Or I was tired.
Hey, bloodies.
Hey, everybody. Here we are.
Thursday. We hope you're excited because we are.
What a great day.
Thirsty Thursday.
What are you drinking?
I am obviously drinking straight Tito's.
Apparently.
Because it was not mixed very well. But
You better shake it up.
That's how I like it. I'm trying to put my gum right here on top. I was chewing. Did you hear me chewing my gum on the last episode?
No. I can chew gum without chewing. You know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like, without making noise?
Oh. I just heard it in my mouth.
I just heard it too.
Yeah.
Put it back
I'm
out.
putting it back out. So we have... So the last episode y'all heard, we filmed it at like 9 in the morning. So we were like sleep on a Saturday. We never do
Sleep
it.
talking.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we told you about a live show, but we're basically talking like robots. I don't think I was awake. But we are having a live show.
Oh, have a live show? Okay.
Okay, good. So we're having a live show. Happy birthday to Bloody Happy Hour in June of 2022. Bloody Happy Hour is going to be 1 year old.
Yes. You know the date?
Yeah, tell them.
Oh, let me find it. The 18th.
June 18th.
June 18th.
Mark your calendars. Did we say free?
I'm pretty sure we said free.
Okay, it's free. But our studio's not humongous. Free.
Oh,
$0.00. Oh. Our studio's not humongous. So we have to have RSVPs. So if you go to our page, there is an Eventbrite link. Eventbrite?
What's our page? Facebook page?
Facebook page, okay. Instagram page, Twitter.
Nobody looks at Twitter.
Even probably on the Rogue Media website. We'll have it posted too, but we need you to actually register. It's not going to ask for anything but your name and your email probably. And that way we can keep track of numbers because we do have to cap off. So if your name is on the list and we're not capped off, if your name's on the list, you're going to get in. If your name's not on the list and we're at maximum capacity, you won't be able to get in. And it's going to be so sad. You're going to have to put your ear to the window outside.
Yeah, it's going to be a sad day.
And we're not recording this that we know. So this story is only for people who are in the audience that day.
It's true.
Yeah. We don't know what it's going to look like yet. You know, me and Caroline were a little last minute at planning. But... be excited. You get to actually be in happy hour with us in person for once.
Are there going to be drinks?
Yes.
Oh, did they bring them?
Rogue Media sells beer and not shitty beer. It's not going to be like just Ultra and Bud Light and Miller Lite for you, domestic beer drinkers. It's going to be some good local stuff from our local ale companies, what are they called? Brewing companies. Mm-hmm. And then some good wine and not crappy arsenic wine.
What's that mean?
Good wine. And then some seltzers. So they don't have their liquor license yet. So there will be alcohol. So,
but if they want to bring their own, they cannot.
No, not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So we used to be BYOB, but
Yeah.
now that they got your license, you
well,
can't.
flask tampon, just,
They could do that.
just saying. I'm not, suggesting that.
Oh. Just throwing it out there just in case.
I don't know.
So, yay! Register.
Wow, this is exciting.
Yeah, we're excited. Really excited. Look
my
how
gosh.
excited Caroline is.
I'm gonna be like Amber Heard on the stand, like I don't know what to do. Let me lie.
Caroline.
Let me cry, laugh.
Do you have another reason to be excited?
I don't know. Maybe I have like plans tonight that don't involve puzzles or my dogs
Or Whataburger?
or what. I know. I'm kind of upset. I can't go get my Whataburger tonight, but it's okay because I'm getting pizza.
Is this called a date?
I mean, I think it could be. And the biggest question is it with Ross?
Is it with Ross?
Ross, the neighbor who I wrote on the envelope, who I wrote the letter to. But you know what? You're not going to find out until the live show.
Ooh.
It could be with
Dirty
Ross.
Chad?
It could be Dirty Chad. Maybe
Oh,
he gets a second chance.
Are you? Hell no.
Or maybe
If it's with Dirty Chad, it's because we're interviewing his ass for finding Dirty Chad.
It's because
That hasn't been started.
yeah. Finding Dirty Chad. He's easily found. I know exactly where he is. With his no job and no vehicle ass.
Yes. So she's got a little date.
Yeah, I
told
have a
her-
date and I'm yeah, go ahead.
She's already screwing up because she's going to get in the car with him to go to the place. And I was like, you're going to leave yourself without a car.
But I'm going to have my tracking device on my phone. Like my location is there. You can always ping the phone. Even though, I mean,
What
I
if you
feel
get in
like
his car and he has one of those things that shuts off the satellite to the phone so we can't track you?
then I don't know. I've never heard of
I'll
that.
just
I think
cover
you
you
just
on the-
made that up. I feel like you probably would follow me anyway. And
I'll just talk about you on the story then. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, at least I would have a good story.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna be exciting. Should I wear my Johnny Depp shirt or not?
It could be a good conversation starter.
I feel like I would talk too much about it.
Yeah.
I'll go back to my normal shirt. I just wore this shirt just for the episode.
Don't overly talk about true crime either, like we do with everybody.
I know. I'm not. I can't.
He is pretty beautiful, and he's really tall. And he goes to bed at 9 p.m. like Caroline.
We're pretty much getting engaged tonight. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah.
So excited.
Oh, but really quickly, Brittany Drexel. I just thought about that because she was kidnapped and she was
Yeah.
and I might be kidnapped tonight. I don't know. Maybe I want to be kidnapped.
Case solved.
If you don't know the
Is it
story about
11
Brittany
years later?
Drexel, 13.
Okay.
I almost did her on Unsolved. And I had
Can you imagine?
I was literally on the verge.
Okay.
I knew the whole. I mean, she told her. So this girl, she went missing in 2009, I believe. Or 2006
Junior in high
or 9.
school.
She told her she was going on spring break. Her mom said she could not go to Myrtle Beach. She couldn't go to Myrtle Beach. She couldn't go. She went anyway with some other people. She told her mom she was somewhere else, like at a friend's house and whatever, the whole thing. Well, she turns up missing. And there's like camera footage of her, like surveillance footage, but I was listening to Nancy Grace today because I finally didn't have to listen to trial. And it's like she was like at this one place, and then you could see the dude they found who the guy was.
Yeah.
And they you could kind of see him on the camera, like following after her, like a little ways after. But I guess
they didn't know who he was.
No, but then guess what? He was pulled over for speeding the day after she went missing.
Oh. Well, and I listened because I heard the case.
He was already convicted. He had a previous, I think he had maybe either already been to jail before for sexual assault.
He was already convicted.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they didn't put it together, or I don't know.
I just remember I went back and re-listened to, I think, Morbids. And I heard it years ago, but I needed a refresher. And I was like, let's see if he was one of the suspects that they talked about. And he wasn't even covered.
I've never heard his name.
They were thinking it was these two, were they black guys?
Thought it was or like Hispanic guys or something. Like they thought it was friends of whoever she was with that he was trafficked.
Knew it was human trafficking.
Yes, I did too. I thought it was too. I thought she was trafficked.
Wow.
And this guy who was like a convicted sex offender, who he was out, it was him. They found, I guess somebody gave a tip finally out of the blue. I don't know. That's a little up in the air.
Yeah.
And they found her remains and identified her.
So her parents at least get some closure.
Yes. The mom said she had her cremated. She said, this is so sad. She said she'd been in the ground long enough. Like meaning where the guy had put her. So cremated her, and so she's like, we brought her home with us. I know, heartbroken, awful.
I feel like this is the year that cases are being closed. Wasn't it the Madeleine McCann case? That was closed.
Was it closed? Did they close it, or did they?
I feel like they named a guy.
They did name a guy. You know,
and then they're so close on Delphi, or they're getting closer on the Delphi.
They are getting close on Delphi.
This is the year of answers, I feel like.
The year of answers. Missy Beaver's next.
Who else? Jelani. I don't know who Johnny is.
John Bonet.
Come on, John Bonet.
Come on.
Natalie, we need some answers. Funny. Are you ready to hear about the last shitty mama?
Yes.
Killer mama. She wins the prize. We had to finish strong for this month.
I know. I was going to go with one of two. My guesses are top mom Casey Anthony or Andrea Yates.
Andrea, baby.
Andrea Yates. Everybody knows the name.
Everybody knows her.
Probably everybody knows At least the conclusion of the story.
Yeah.
But you don't know the story.
Yeah. And that's what I
don't even know the story.
And that's what I thought. I was like, well, everybody knows about Andrea Yates, but unless you've really read the book.
Right. You just know what happened, like the facts. Like, she drowned her kids.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And postpartum psychosis.
Right. There's a lot more.
Yeah, it is a lot more. So let's dive into it. And I want to kind of check your temperature for her after this because.
Wait.
What?
Let me interrupt. So my mom has texted me asking about what I have planned for tonight. And I said, I have dinner plans. And she said, oh, who are these dinner plans with? And April told me to tell her who?
Michael Warnicki.
Which I don't know who this guy is.
He's going to come up in the story.
Oh! So I texted her back. She goes, who are you having dinner with? I said, Michael Warnicki. And she goes, that name sounds familiar. Where is he from?
Tell her to Google him.
Okay.
He's basically a fire brimstone cult preacher. Love it.
Okay, go ahead. I just had to because I'm dying.
Okay, so for my book club, we did the book. We're reading the book "Are You There Alone" by Suzanne O'Malley, The Unspeakable Crimes of Andrea Yates. I'm not finished with it. This isn't going to be a story that's extra long because I've read a long book, but it is a good story. So, Andrea Yates, she was actually born Andrea Kennedy in Hallsville, Texas in 1964. And she was close with her parents. You're not going to hear anything traumatic about her. She was very close with her parents, very close with her siblings, all-American family. She loved the water when she was young. She would always go to the pool and to the beach. But for some reason, she was diagnosed as bulimic as an early teenager and with depression. No trauma. It just is something that she's dealing with, whether it's high school girl issues or junior high girl issues. She is dealing with it, okay? So, and then she wasn't a typical girl. She started studying theology and the Bible very intensely. So instead of going to like school dances or hanging out with friends, she was staying at home either reading the Bible, chemistry books, or biology books.
She sounds like Diane Stout's daughter.
Yes.
Did you see those pictures, by the way? I think they ate rocks. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, they weren't the cutest shirt in the closet.
I listened to a podcast. They're like, they're such a beautiful family. And I was like,
Okay.
wait, so is Andrea, is her family really religious or no? She just decided.
It didn't say that they
didn't
were
say.
overly. Like, she didn't, not overly at all. For some reason, she just got into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So no dances, not a lot of friends. She didn't even date in high school. But even though she was kind of different, she was a pretty productive teenager. She actually was the captain of the swim team.
Okay.
She liked water.
Yes, she loves water.
She loves water. And officer of National Honor Society. And she was valedictorian of her high school
so
class.
she's really smart.
Really
she's
smart.
a great swimmer.
She's involved.
She is involved. She is, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
So, and then when she graduated, she went to University of Texas Nursing School. I saw two things. I saw U of H, and then I saw University of Texas. Either way, she got her nursing certificate to do her 2-year program, and she got a job at MD Anderson Hospital, which is a legit hospital.
Yeah.
Like, she's legit.
Yeah.
She worked there from 1986 to 1994. She moved out and got her own apartment. And at that apartment complex where she lived is where she met a guy named Rusty Yates. Rusty Yates also had a good little resume. He was an engineer. He was single. He wasn't married. Dandy.
It's on it.
Oh,
That's weird.
favorite. So they were both a catch. Like, both swipe rightable, I think. You know, if you're dating, you see her little profile, maybe not even picture, but like everything else, and
Yeah,
he's
goes
successful.
to bed at 9 o'clock, you know, likes
Yes.
water.
So they go out, they begin dating, and they move in together, and after 3 years, they get married.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now it's April 17th, 1993, and they're married. Rusty later says that Andrea was not interested in sex at all.
Oh.
And he thought that because they had sex before marriage, which, you know, is a sin.
It's a sin, April.
It's a sin. And he thought maybe she was uncomfortable with it because she knew she was sinning.
Yes.
But even after they got married and you got free for all, she still didn't like sex.
like it.
But they obviously had sex.
Clearly.
He even said that he would not even let him see her naked. She would change in the closet or in the bathroom with the door shut. So I don't even know that he saw his wife naked. But you got to think about,
with clothes on?
well, but he couldn't. She wouldn't walk in
dark.
front of him naked. It had to be in the dark. But you think bulimia, body dysmorphia, like it's pretty common anyways. So,
Okay.
all American family, right?
Guess he didn't watch her have baby. I don't know. Okay, go ahead. That's pretty, yeah. You know, out
So they bought a 4-bedroom house in Friendswood, Texas.
there.
Ever been?
No, it's like
near
Houston area. Yeah.
And he worked for NASA.
Okay.
Legit engineer, not like
Literally. He's like on the
legit
spaceship.
engineer. They grew up, or they were Catholic, and they believed in being fruitful. So what's the next step? Is to have kids, right?
Yeah.
You graduate college, you get married, you buy a home.
Keep it in order.
You have
You
a
got to do
kid.
everything in line.
They're doing everything.
They are following. They're doing exactly
the
what they
rules.
should do.
Their plan was to have as many babies as nature would allow, quote unquote, was Rusty's, what he later said.
All right.
And that's what Catholics believe, is that you just let your body do what it's supposed to do and you procreate.
No birth control. They don't
No
believe in it.
anything. Nope.
Mm-mm.
So within a year, she gets pregnant with Noah. So they're married, and then
They must
within
have
a
had
year
sex
of being
like
married.
one time. She's fertile Myrtle. Like they just get
yeah.
automatic because she does not like to have sex.
I mean, she is very fertile. You would think she's like Andrea Gonzalez or something because she's very fertile and she has a lot of kids. So Noah's born in February 1994. And they're really traditional.
Mm-hmm.
So Rusty's like, okay, well, you're going to quit your job and be a stay-at-home mom. And Andrea is a people pleaser, but she really loved her job. She wanted to go back and be a nurse, and I think she did for a little bit. But ultimately, Rusty was like, I need you to be at home with Noah. So she quit her job, and she was a stay-at-home mom.
Why does Rusty need her to be at home?
He just is very traditional. He believes that he's the breadwinner. She's the homemaker. That's just
that's like way
old.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, we're still back in the time a little bit.
Well, yeah, and even a lot of families still very much think that way. A lot of my family still think. My mama didn't go to work until I was a senior in high school. When I was a senior in high school, she finally went to work. She was a stay-at-home mom, but I had 4 little brothers too.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's very not as, doesn't happen as much now, but that's what Rusty wanted. Where it's unsure that that's what Andrea wanted, but she did it because she's a people pleaser.
Yes.
So now she's at home, and soon after she had Noah, she started having visions of knives.
Oh.
And she didn't have them above her bed like Catherine Knight.
She was not.
She was
not channeling Catherine Knight.
No.
She was just thinking about knives.
She also heard voices
Okay. So
that she was sure was Satan.
And it's because she's super religious?
No.
And she's Catholic. So, I mean...
That she's having voices?
No, I'm just thinking, what is causing her to have these voices? Because sometimes if you're like super religious...
Yeah, no. I mean, she's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know why Satan would be talking to her.
I know.
But she's hearing voices after she had the baby. But she couldn't tell anyone because she had this urge to be perfect, like you can handle this. You can be at home with the kid and you cannot work. So she hid her voices and her visions.
Oh.
Then a year later, guess they had sex
one more time.
And John was born. So we got Noah and we got John.
Oh.
And her stress levels increased just a little bit. And then those visions of knives become more violent, and she had visions of doing things with these knives.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Girl.
her and pregnancy doesn't mix very well. You'll see. So she still didn't say anything. And Rusty comes home one day in 1996, and he's like, we're moving to Florida. I'm taking another position within NASA, but it's not a raise. It's not a promotion or anything. They're moving to Florida. And so she's like just shake her head and go with it type thing. Like she just goes with the flow. So they go down there.
Well, I guess she didn't have a choice if he's the only one working.
Yeah. And he made, at that time, it was $80,000 a year. So
probably nowadays is...
Well, yeah, would probably be double that or more. But you could live you could live good off of $80,000 a year.
Right, you're comfortable.
There.
I mean, you're making good money.
She didn't have to work.
Right.
So, instead of buying a house when they went to Florida, they lived in a 38-foot camper. 38-foot camper, like a trailer, RV that you go camping in.
They lived in.
That's what they lived in.
Like temporarily, or
when they were in Florida, they were there about a year, I think, a little over a year. Why do you think he did this? Like, you're making good money. Why wouldn't you get a nice house on the beach?
But was it like you were just living there? You just got this temporary, like just for
No.
That's their house. They bought this house. They bought this trailer
to live in. That was their home
for the 2 of them and the 2 kids.
Yes. So 4 people living in this trailer. Well, they had started following this guy named Michael Warnicki.
That's who I'm
you're
going
on
out
a date
with tonight.
They they started following this guy named Michael Warnicki, and he was like a street fire and brimstone preacher. And he would preach his version of what he thought the Bible said and meant to people.
There's somebody else named Michael Warnick who's like some kind of VP at some company. Bobby thinks that's it.
Nope, it's Warnicki.
I know, but I can't find him. Okay, go ahead.
Andrea liked this preacher, and Rusty liked this preacher, and they really followed his teachings. One of his teachings is you live a very minimalistic life.
Oh.
Okay, have you ever seen Waterboy?
Yes.
And the mama, everything's the devil? Well, this is him.
Oh, yes.
Foosball is the devil.
Oh,
Girls are the
foosball.
devil.
Oh,
Well, this
no.
guy was like, jobs are the devil. Homes and materialistic things are the devil. You should struggle.
Oh, no.
And so that's why he was like, we're going to live in a trailer. We don't need a big 4-bedroom house. We don't need to have
Okay, but
a
you
lot of
could
money
have-
and go shopping and do all this stuff. Warnicki lived in a bus with his 6 children and his wife.
A bus?
A bus.
Like
And
a school bus?
like a travel bus. And he traveled the world and he would preach his bullshit teachings. He was
How
a
did
false prophet.
How did they come into contact with this guy again?
On the street. He would go to local colleges and preach to the women.
So
and
they
tell
met in
them that they're
Texas?
I don't know,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
I think in Texas.
Because I was like, they
but he
must
was
have
in
known
Florida
him,
at the time.
and then he like
Yeah.
convinced him to move to Florida, and he was like, "Oh, maybe I can get a job in Florida." And then he goes, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I can live in a trailer."
and Warnicki was in Florida for a while, but Warnicki kind of travels on.
You know, everybody live in Florida.
So they were talking with Warnicki and his wife a lot. Warnicki also thinks that women are the devil, and that Andrea, like all women, knows witchcraft because we are daughters of Eve. I know you weren't allowed to read the Bible.
Correct. I do know about Adam and Eve and the rib and
remember
everything.
Remember Eve convinced Adam to eat the fruit,
Yes.
and so he said that was witchcraft because she put a spell, and so all women are witches.
Yeah, we are witches.
And so we are supposed to bow down to men or whatever to pay back for our witchcraft.
You know what? Amber Heard.
She a witch.
She a witch.
Warnicki, though, was actually once a normal person. He was played football in college. His wife was a cheerleader on the football team. I couldn't find what college, but he later says that he wanted to win a game so bad and he prayed to win. And when he won, he thought God favored him. So he gave up football to give his life to preaching what he says is the Bible.
Okay.
So he's crazy.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Literally crazy. He had a lot of followers. So while in Florida, Andrea gets pregnant again, but she has a miscarriage. And this is kind of stressful on him. And within a year, they go back to Houston because Florida just didn't work out. Okay. So now they're back in Houston. And she gets pregnant with Paul. So we have Noah,
John,
Noah, and Paul.
Oh, Noah, John. Okay.
Okay. So, but Rusty was like, we still need to live a minimalistic life. We're not going to get a house. We're going to live in a camper. We're just going to live it here. So now they're living in this trailer top camper thing because, anything better than that is the devil. So you're going to have a lot of feelings about Rusty.
Okay, but when you live in a camper, do you have a bathtub? You don't have a...
Oh, there's some beautiful campers now. I don't know what they look like back then.
I don't... you don't have you have to go hook up to
to stuff and get septic. Well, a camper ended up actually being too extravagant. So Andrea found out that Warnicki was selling a bus.
Tent? Oh, they went to go live in a bus.
Now they're living in a bus. You know the compartments where you put your luggage, like down here and up here?
Yeah, like on charter bus.
That's where the kids
They
slept.
slept under the open flap under the bottom.
The kids slept.
Where the motor goes, where it's hot. Oh my gosh.
It was 350 square feet. And in this camper, not in the camper.
That's as big as this room. I can't fit.
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I'm claustrophobic.
That's worse than where the 900 square foot house that Debbie, what's her name? Debbie Downs? No.
Oh, Diane Stouty with her
Stouty
eating roc's mouth.
She should have been happy with her 900 square foot home.
And this is how many square?
350
I want to know.
square feet.
I want to know exactly what that is.
Probably like a bathroom. I don't know.
Is that how
But
big is
imagine
this?
it's a bus. It's
How
a
big
long.
is it? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And there's okay. And you have all these babies and
And they just had another one named Luke. He
So
was
they
born
have
in 1998.
They have 4 babies. They have no bathtub.
No.
They're
And
sleeping under the bus.
and you know what else is the devil? Diapers.
Oh no! Well, tell me the
Cloth.
nap cloth, knapsack.
So
They use the
now
cloth
they
to-
use
Let me
cloth.
wait. Does she rewash the cloth?
That's the purpose of having cloth diapers. You didn't have cloth diapers growing up?
no with the pin.
My brothers did. My mama might have been Andrea Yates.
I think your mom was Andrea Yates.
I was like, oh, cloth diapers. I know how to fold them up.
I've
I know how to put the
literally
liner
never seen
in
a
there.
cloth diaper.
Oh, my aunts
Give me
did
all
it.
the what is it? I pollute the earth as much as I want. Just I'm not trying to wash poop out of a cloth.
So
I was watching a kid once, and they had like poop in their panties, and I just threw the panties away.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Don't throw them away, just wash it." And I was like, "Ew, no, I'm putting this shit in the trash."
In the trash.
That was Casey, by the way.
Oh, goodness.
She's gonna love that.
So now we have, what do we have? John,
Paul, Luke, and Adam. I don't know the last one. Noah, John, Paul, Luke.
and Luke. So 4 kids in this bus. It's 1998.
They're wearing
Do
cloths.
you notice the name? Wait, were you allowed to read the Bible?
Yeah, I
These
was
are
allowed.
all books of the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is what their kids are named after. So I feel like she has a kid every year, or at least every year and a half.
I mean, it seems so. I guess she has had sex 4 times.
Yeah,
5
4 times now.
She had a miscarriage.
Yeah, 5 times so far. So at least Rusty got a break during the day because he got to go to NASA and go to work.
Yeah, he went to work, and she's literally sitting over here and trapped in
Changing
this bus,
diapers.
washing cloths with all these children.
And daycare's the devil and school's the devil, so she's homeschooling.
So she's just
She's there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like she does she ever get to leave the bus?
Well, when she does get
Is
to leave,
playtime the devil? Is going to the park the devil?
well, she does get a little bit of a break sometimes, but on that break, she goes to her dad's house because her dad's sick. Remember, she's a nurse. She takes care of her dad. So she's taking care of kids during the day and sometimes in the evening, taking care of her sick dad. So there's no Andrea time
No, there's not.
at all. And Rusty wasn't very helpful because there was a clear line, like he's the breadwinner, you are the mom, you take care of the kids and you take care of the home. Except for there
bus.
ain't no damn home.
The bus.
That would be a
You
deal
take
breaker.
care of the bus. Like, at least give me a home to take care of. I'm just taking care of the damn bus. I'm gonna air the tires up. Like, what do you want me to do? I mean,
Armor all the steering
let me
wheel?
go ahead
What
and
are we
wash the
doing?
windshield. Let me buff out the side. Oh,
I know.
I can't. And washing those cloths, I just can't get over that.
Can you imagine?
No.
And there's no bathroom.
Do
so
they even have a washer and dryer? Probably have to go to the thing. Like,
laundromat?
Matt.
Yeah. So, but you know what? Andrea never complained because she's
Oh
a
my
people pleaser.
gosh.
And she just went with
She
it.
was drove. Oh my gosh, this poor thing. If you are feeling bad for her, I feel like you should.
So,
I think she's she's
part of their little friendship or following with the Warnickies is you had to write a letter every week. Your letter, you're just kind of telling like your worries, it's almost like confession letters.
Oh my gosh.
Warnicki was traveling, so you'd write a letter to Warnicki and you'd tell them your travels. Then you'd pay them because they're going to write you back and tell them their gospel. And so imagine she's like, I hate everything. Like, I'm changing these crappy diapers. She's venting, and they write her back, and they're like, well, all you need to do, you're evil. You're Jezebel.
Why is she evil? No matter
Your
what she does, she's evil.
You're having trouble with your kids because your kids are sinners because they come from you and you're a sinner. So she's not talking to anybody else but kids in the Warnickis. Kids in the Warnickis. So she's believing this. She's believing that she's a horrible mom. She's not. She's believing that her kids, and she's having a hard time because it's her fault. She's a daughter of Eve.
Oh my gosh. She's like, I feel bad for her. It's like, she's getting like it's mental health.
Yeah.
It's, which is not a stigma anymore. I mean, it is stigma, but it's like,
a real
it's
thing.
a real thing.
And she
Everybody,
is clearly
it's a real thing.
on the poster for it. So when Luke was 4 months old, Andrea called Rusty at work. I guess she's allowed to have phones. And her words were, "Come home, I need you." And he later said the desperation in her voice scared him. So he comes home, and when he got there, she was sitting, staring, and she was bleeding. And when he found out what she was bleeding from, she was chewing her actual fingers, not her nails, her fingers. She was gnawing on her fingers.
Gosh, she literally went crazy.
Yeah, like eating her flesh, not eating, but chewing on her flesh and bone. And she looked at him, and for the first time in her life, she asked for help. I need help.
Oh.
She has not, remember, this is 4 kids later, and she's been hearing voices. She's been washing crappy diapers, and she's been envisioning knives. She's looking at Catherine Knight's room, seeing all these knives. So Rusty Boy, he had a great plan.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like, he outdid himself with this plan because he was like, I'm going to help my wife.
Oh, I bet
He
does.
loaded up the kids, and he put them in a car and loaded up Andrea, put her in the car, and they drove to Galveston Beach, and they took a walk on the beach.
So,
And that's it. That was his way. She asked for help. He took her for a walk on the beach. Like,
what about her
period,
bloody
the end.
hands?
Huh?
What about her bloody
She
hands?
washed them off and put Band-Aids on.
Wait, he didn't like talk. They had no communication.
What do you mean?
I did another conversation. Wait, she says she needs help. She's eating her fingers.
So then he's like, she
well,
loves
let's
the
go
water.
to the beach.
She loves the water. She'll feel better when she goes for a walk by the water. So they went
Did
for a
she
walk.
say I need time away from these kids for 5 seconds?
No. Look, she asked for help, and he didn't help. I don't think she asked for it again. So when they
Okay, what is she
are you confused?
Well, because what is she needs help. I need to know this whole conversation. What does that mean? Take me to the hospital?
I would think that.
Right.
I think anybody else but Rusty Yates would have called the police, the ambulance.
Yes.
Like, let's go to DePaul.
Yes. And he takes her
for a walk on the beach. Yeah.
Okay.
Period. The end. And then they get home, and the walk must not have helped because
clearly
she overdosed.
Oh, what did she take? They have stuff. She's the devil, so she obviously.
Wait, hold on. Troubles. I need help. Oh, on sleeping pills because she couldn't sleep.
Oh,
so she overdosed on sleeping pills. She obviously didn't die. She was rushed to the hospital and she survived. Then she was taken to the psychiatric hospital where it should have been.
Yes, this is good.
She was
We're
like,
making progress.
Eating my hands didn't work. Let me try to kill myself. So now she's at the hospital. She's diagnosed with major depressive disorder, and she's prescribed Zoloft.
know. What? Are you trying to say I have major depressive disorder? Zoloft?
I was reading this and I texted my mom and I was like, I know a lot of people in Zoloft.
Clearly.
Andrea Yates took Zoloft.
Major depressive disorder.
I think it treats a lot of things.
Yes, but I feel like you need like an antipsychotic.
Oh, okay. Look at you.
Well,
Are you on one of those too?
no,
Oh, okay.
but I do listen to a lot of trials.
Yes.
And I have a friend who's a psychologist.
She was only at the hospital for only a week. Not because she got better, but because that's all insurance would really pay for. So NASA
No, you need to
get
do it
some
like
better
this.
insurance. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
NASA gets some better insurance. I think it's blocking my whole face. Hold on. Let me pull this down. Okay. When she got home, she was referred to a new psychiatrist who had a little bit more sense because they took her off Zoloft and gave her an antipsychotic. There you go. No more Zoloft, antipsychotic. Yeah. Casey's taught you so well.
It's not even her. I'm just smart.
Okay. I believe you.
But actually, it's because I've been watching these trials.
You learned so much.
Yes, because they're all on these drugs.
So.
But mental health is a thing.
It's real.
Yes.
It's real, real, real.
That's why I have a certain feeling for this Andrea Yates.
Yeah.
Which everybody will. I would think they will.
Yeah. Let's see if the jury agrees.
Yeah. Let's see.
So, now she's on these drugs and Rusty's like, oh, hopefully this helps her. We could be normal. But you know what?
What?
Guess what drugs are to Mr. Warnicki?
The devil.
The devil.
What a shock.
So when she writes her letter and she says, they prescribed me this and this. Well, you know what? Doctors are the devil. And medicine is actually worse than the devil. Mm-hmm. So what do you think Andrea did?
She didn't go to the doctor. She stopped taking her medicine.
Yes, stopped taking her medicine.
And, yeah.
She flushed them down the toilet, actually, because they were the devil. And then things got worse.
Clearly.
Andrea looked like a meth addict after this. She wasn't doing meth, but she would scratch at her skin and she would have sores all over her arms, like she had meth bugs.
Yeah.
She wouldn't bathe. And she was pulling out her hair where she had these bald patches all over her head.
Amber Heard. Okay.
Is that what Amber Heard said?
Oh, yeah. She said Johnny pulled her hair and pulled out her hair and swung her by the hair.
Goodness.
I'm like, bitch, you did not get your hair pulled out. You literally either had extensions or you cut your dog's hair. I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
And she tried to say she had a bald spot. It's not bald.
It's not bald.
No.
She a compulsive liar?
Yes.
Well, Andrea had a lot of bald spots on her head.
She didn't see pictures.
And her voices were getting louder, like they were yelling at her, get a knife. Like not just visions of knives, but now you got somebody screaming in your head, get a knife, get a knife, get a knife.
Out your hair.
I don't
like
pull it.
No,
pull it from the
I
root.
don't want. It hurts.
I know. That's how you know she was psychotic.
Yes.
So she later says she knew she had 666 in her head, so she was pulling out her hair to reveal it.
Oh my God.
She thought she was Satan. So the voice was telling her, get a knife, get a knife. You know what she did? She went and got a knife.
Oh my gosh.
She got a knife and she went to the bathroom and she had it up against her own neck and she was going to kill herself. But Rusty found her, stopped her, and she begged him, please, please, let me do it, let me do it, let me do it. And she had to go back to the hospital. Like, he took her ass back to the hospital.
Clearly. With her bald spots.
With her bald spots.
Oh my gosh.
So this time she had her own little room, own little Andrea Yates room.
Okay.
And they gave her a stronger antipsychotic called Haldol.
Okay.
Okay. And she actually tells the doctors there that the knife voices and the visions had been occurring a lot of times. Like, this wasn't the first time that she heard a voice to say, go get a knife. She just restrained herself to not. She actually had like nail prints in her legs because she was resisting herself from getting up because she was trying to stop going to go get a knife. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. Oh no.
I feel like did I do cocaine?
I don't know.
Like
Did you do meth? Did you do meth
my nose.
just before?
Am I on Haldol?
I don't know what you're on.
So now she's on Haldol.
Okay.
And she's getting therapy. And she's diagnosed with postpartum psychosis. And it's 1999. We've heard of postpartum depression. She is like the first person that America has known in the, like in the spotlight that has had postpartum psychosis, which is treatable if they go to therapy and they take medicine.
I don't know what but that means.
You're just postpartum is after you have a baby.
Baby, yeah.
And then there's usually just depression.
Right.
She gets psychotic with it. So that's why there's voices. That's why there's visions.
She's already had that. So it was something to do with right?
She started having it after her first kid.
Oh, she just started. Okay, I thought she was.
Now, she was suicidal before and she was depressed before. So she's basically the best client for this postpartum psychosis. Yeah. But the weird shit didn't start happening until after Noah. And then it progressed after each kid and after each kid. So she was in the hospital this time for 3 weeks. And when she got out, she had a ton of prescriptions, like a ton. And the doctor...
What happens to the kids while she's in the hospital?
Mom-in-law came, or mama came. His mom came, so mother-in-law came to help. Yeah.
To stay in the bus.
Which I'd have kept my ass in damn hospital if I was her.
She probably wanted to, but he probably said it was the devil.
So she gets out, and... she's on all these prescriptions. And Andrea's mom finally spoke up. And she's like, fuck this. Get out that damn bus. And
go live in a house.
Get a home. Anybody would go crazy in a bus. So even if she wasn't psychotic before, you would go crazy living in this bus.
4 kids with cloth diapers.
Cloth diapers.
And no bathtub.
I can see if Chip and Joanna like redid this bus, and it's a great bus with all the amenities. But I'm pretty sure this is just a shitty bus.
It sounds like a real shitty bus. You gotta live underneath, and there's no air conditioner. You got the gosh.
Reluctantly bought him a house, and it's September of 1999. Ooh, it's my senior year.
Oh, hey girl.
And their new house. It's a nice 4-bedroom house on 942 Beachcomber Lane in Clear Lake, a suburb of Houston. So Houston listeners, send me a picture of Andrea Yates' house.
Oh my gosh.
I need to go to Clear Lake. You know what? But here's some good news, Caroline.
Okay.
Medicine was working.
Oh, okay. This is good. Even though it's the devil, and I'm sure the Rusty ends up throwing it out.
Well, she's cooking. She's baking.
She actually has
a stove.
Oven and a stove because she has a home and not living in a damn bus.
I think they even had to like grow their food and stuff. Like it was just, they were going like way off.
He is trying to expect the most.
Yeah. She was in a 4-bedroom. Oh, okay. So anyway,
listen, person I'm about to go on a date with, don't be trying to expect the most, and I'm not living in a bus.
I mean, maybe for him.
Okay, maybe.
So she
just for one D1 baby.
One D1 baby. Don't say that at the thing tonight too.
No, I won't tell him that.
Actually, don't tell him we even have
just
a podcast.
Poke a hole
yet.
in the condom.
Oh shit.
No, that's like a thing.
Yeah, I know.
People are trying to get Drake, baby. Okay.
Okay, where am I at? Clear Lake, new home. Things are going good. Like she was taking her meds, and doctor had one like demand.
Okay. Stay in the house. Don't go back to the bus.
Don't have any more fucking kids.
No more kids.
Don't
There
have
you
more
go.
kids.
There you go.
She told Andrea and she told Rusty's dumbass.
Okay, so maybe you need to use a condom without a hole, or maybe get on some birth control.
Yes, but they're good Catholics.
I know. So then
They
don't have
believe in
sex.
it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Pull
out.
And she said that if she has another kid, there's a 50 to 80% chance that she'll have another episode and that it will be worse. What the fuck, Russ? Like, were you not already scared enough?
Okay, apparently not.
Right,
Oh, gosh.
because
They had another one.
by November 1999, it's only 2 months. She's only had 2 good months. They started trying to have kids.
Were they really trying?
On purpose. Not like
Did she
accident.
think? Well, she had to know.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't feel bad for her anymore.
I know.
Okay,
I'm telling you, you're
girl,
going to have
bye.
mixed feelings.
Girl, bye.
You're going to have mixed feelings, but she's also a people pleaser. So it's almost like she can't say no.
Bitch, you can say no.
Now, yeah, your fingers. You ate your fingers
yeah,
off.
and your legs.
It's a good reason
Put
to
them
say no. You ate
Go
your
back
fingers.
to the bus.
It's a good reason.
Go back
Send
to
his
the-
ass to the damn
Listen,
bus.
somebody go back to the bus. I don't know.
So
I'm so stressed out.
later on, he was interviewed so many times, and I think it was like 2020 or something. They said, why?
Yeah.
Where was your logic? WTF? What would make you think it was
Because-
okay to have a kid? Here was his response.
Oh, no.
Well, Katie Couric, I don't know if it's Katie, I just said that.
Barbara.
If somebody wanted to give you a brand new Mercedes Benz, but you had to have the flu for 2 weeks, you'd take it, won't you?
Excuse me?
Is that the same? He's comparing
I know.
the Mercedes Benz to a baby and flu to psychosis.
I can't.
Bitch didn't have the flu for 2 weeks.
He should
She
be
ate
in
her
jail,
fingers.
and he should be in jail.
He should be in jail. So take a drink because Rusty's a dumbass.
Listen, it's his sperm that made her have a baby and caused all this stuff. So bye, boy, bye.
Yes, and her body obviously can't handle it. Well, they knew his risk. They still did it. And 4
Rusty
months later,
nail.
you know what? She was pregnant. And in November 2000, she had her one and only daughter named Mary, which is also a name from the Bible.
It is.
Do you know them? Do you know the Bibles?
Yeah,
Bible.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and Jacob.
Did y'all have Vacation Bible School?
John and Isaiah and
You know so many. I remember learning a song. I don't know if it's when I taught Vacation Bible School when I was little, but I learned all the books of the Bible, the New Testament. There was a song.
okay. Well, I don't know, like
Let's sing it.
new and old. I don't know the song.
Matthew, Mark.
A deer, a female deer, Ray.
Nope. No,
that's not the right song?
No.
Oh.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Acts, and the letter of the Romans. First and Second Corinthians, Galatians, and Ephesians.
Okay, that's the worst
Philippians, Colossians.
Oh, no.
First and
This
Second
is literally the worst
Thessalonians.
song ever.
First and Second
is the worst.
Timothy, Titus,
Literally,
and
I just
Philemon.
died.
Hebrews and the
I'm
book of
literally
James.
Mike is on
First
fire.
and Second Peter.
He is flaming
First and
right
Second,
now.
Third John,
getting
Jude,
hit.
and Revelation.
Oh my!
There is a Third John. Listen, I was a little kid. I didn't know the real words. I said Galatians. Time for a break.
No.
We really should do one.
I wish I could have heard that whole thing. Keep all this in. Guess what?
I also don't know how to say
the live show.
Philemon.
There's not a third John, is there?
Yes.
Listen,
if
there's a dirty
you believed in
John, there's a third John.
And now a word from our sponsors.
911, what's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode, we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
the Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
The Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
Hi, this is Sarah,
And I'm Carter.
and this is Some of Our Thoughts.
We're two Southern sommeliers, and we want to share everything we love and know about wine. We started hanging out during quarantine and cooking and drinking and listening to music, and we just thought this would be a great way to bring everything we know to you guys.
We will make wine knowledge and food pairings easy and approachable. So put on your favorite vinyl, grab your favorite glass of wine, tune into our show, and let's have some fun.
Wine and vinyl. So check us out on roguemedianetwork.com or wherever you get your favorite podcast. We'll be talking about a lot.
RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at roguecon23.com. That's RogueCon, ROGUECON 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't right, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.
So, if y'all didn't go to Vacation Bible School and learn that song, I don't know what kind of churches you went to.
Well, I clearly did not.
They made fun of me.
I went to CCE.
I was real proud.
Okay, well,
Real proud of myself.
I didn't actually listen to anything you sang. I'm just focused on something else.
Okay, so where was I? She's pregnant, right? She has Mary, and then her dad dies. So that's like double whammy for her, right? Stresses too much.
Yeah.
And she gets put back in the hospital in May of 2001 and diagnosed again with major depressive disorder and postpartum psychosis. So Rusty's mom's in town and she's helping with the kids, and the doctor gave him another strict order. This strict order is, please do not leave Andrea alone because, she's attempted suicide before, but also don't leave her alone with the kids.
Clearly.
Because she's psychotic right now. Like, she's
Yes.
psychotic. She may be on medicine, but she's psychotic. Well, she had to get off her medicine because she was pregnant. So that's why she's like going down the drain again.
So she didn't do anything to anybody while she was pregnant?
No. It always happens. It's postpartum, so it always happens after the pregnancy. So, Rusty complied with the orders at first. He made sure she was not alone with the kids. But I guess he just makes his own rules because he was just like, you know what? She needs a little bit of time with the kids by herself because she needs to gain her independence back. He just wants things to be normal. He don't want to have to do too much work because his only job is NASA, not the kids. So he would leave her alone with the kids for an hour at a time here and there. Then his mom would come in and help, fill in those gaps. They also didn't know that Andrea had been talking back to Warnicki, and she started flushing her meds down the toilet again. So Halidol, which was once working, is now not being taken. Patches of hair, her hair had grown back. Patches of hair were being pulled out, and she is now refusing to eat and drink. And sometimes she would just stare like in a catatonic state. She wouldn't talk. She wouldn't do anything. She was hospitalized one more time.
Oh my gosh.
And they
you're
let
still
her out.
leaving her with the kids.
And they let her out. She probably didn't need to be out because
Clearly.
on June 20th, 2001, Rusty left for work. He just knew that, his mom was going to be there in an hour. Andrea had it covered. She can last an hour with the kids until his mom got there. So he goes to work. And when he leaves, she goes into the bathroom and she turns on the bathwater. And she lets the tub fill up all the way almost to the top. It was like 10 or 11 inches of water. And she systematically drowned each of her children in the bathtub, starting with 3-year-old Paul. She later says she put him in the bathwater, face down, and held him down. He struggled for what she says is a couple of minutes. Once she knew he wasn't struggling anymore, she took him out and put him in her bed, face up, and covered him with a sheet. Then she grabbed 2-year-old Luke. He was 2, put in the water, face down, and struggled for a couple of minutes until he died. She also took him to the bed and put him next to Paul, covered him with the same sheet. It's John's turn. John's 5 years old at the time. And he struggles. He's in there face down. He struggles violently. He was bigger, and his struggle lasted a lot longer until he couldn't fight anymore. She puts him in the bed with his brothers, face up next to each other, covers them with a sheet. Mary was already in the bathroom, and Mary's 6 months old at this time. So she was there crying in the bathroom, sitting on the floor crying. So she grabs Mary, and Mary didn't take as long because she's 6 months old. Yep. She didn't bother to take Mary out of the bathtub before she went and grabbed the oldest of all of them, Noah, who was 7 years old. Noah came in and saw Mary floating and asked what happened. And she said, "Get in the bathtub," and he took off. She chased him, grabbed him, and put him in the bathtub, and he fought like a champ for a while. He even came up from air, flipped, and she had to flip him back over. Like, it was horrible. He took the longest. When Noah wasn't moving anymore, she took Mary out of the bathtub and put Mary in the bed with her brothers and covered them one last time. But she left Noah in the bathtub by himself. Floating in the bathtub with him was vomit and poop because they struggled so hard for their life. I know. So then she picks up the phone and she calls Rusty, and she tells Rusty, "You need to come home." Remember the last time she got that phone call, she had been eating her fingers. Rusty said, "What's wrong?" Andrea just said, "It's time." So he flew out of his office and he called his mom and said, "Where are you?" He was hoping his mom was there, but she wasn't because you left, right? And she hadn't even left the hotel, so she wasn't even en route. And he called Andrea back and he says, "Andrea, is anybody hurt?" She says, "Yes, the kids." He said, "Which kids?" And she said, all of them.
Oh, gosh.
Hung up the phone. She called 911. That y'all can go find that 911 call. She is very calm, cool, and collect. Like, there's not really much emotion about it. She says, "We need an ambulance. I'm ill. Need some help."
She's mentally ill.
Yes.
I mean, she's been this way for years. Oh, my gosh.
Woo! So Andrea was arrested. She gave a full confession. That's how I know the order and everything that she did it. They noticed her patches and they noticed that she smelled. She was shaking like a chihuahua and her pupils weren't dilated. Like, you know, we have that big circle, like the cornea and the iris.
Yeah.
It was one big circle.
Oh, they were fully dilated.
Fully dilated. Or what I say?
They weren't. You said they weren't. So they were huge. They took up her
her whole
eyeball.
When the police asked her why she did it, she told them that she had to save her kids because they were stumbling, like in the eyes of God, like they were sinners. They weren't good kids, and that it was her fault. That's when she said, they asked why her hair. She said she had a 666 etch in her head, and she was pulling out the hair to reveal it, to find it. She said that she thought that if they died young, that God will take them, even though they came from a sinner like her. So that was the Warnickies feeding that into her head. She thought she was a horrible mom. She thought it was their fault. She thought, and actually she later says that she truly thought they were evil. She said that if they would have lived, one of them was going to be a serial killer, the other one was going to be mute, and another one was going to be a homosexual sex worker.
Sorry, that was just
random, right?
Those were very specific and very random. Because, you know, I might be a homosexual sex worker. I don't know, but you don't even drown me. Comic relief, people, comic relief.
I know. We had to. It got ugly. So she wanted to save them, and she wanted to punish herself for being her bad mom. And that was her way of saving them. She knew it was wrong on land or in the world.
Right.
But she thought she was doing best in the eyes of God. So it was time for her trial. And Andrea wanted to be punished. She wanted to plead guilty. She wanted a penalty. But the lawyer knew she was crazy.
Right.
So he was trying to get her declared incompetent to stand trial. But she got on her medicine and she gained weight. So if you just go look at pictures, when she was initially arrested, she was like holed out, scrawny, skinny, sunken in.
Like you would think she's
patches.
a drug addict.
Yeah. And then later she had put on weight. She was healthy. She was full, like she filled out, which made the jury think that she was well enough to stand trial. And so they did. Okay. And so the trial went back and forth, right? Like is it the prosecutor, the people who are against her? The people who are against her were like, she confessed in detail, so there's no question that she did it. And they were saying that she planned it, systematically planned how to do it so that she can kill all of them. Because in one of her confessions, she said that she ran the bathwater before because she was going to do it before, but Rusty was at home, so she didn't do it. So this time she waited until Rusty left. So she was in sound mind to wait until he left.
Right.
She knew there was that hour window, and the order in which she drowned them was the best order to get it done because she saved the biggest one for last. Because had she started with Noah, who was with it and could fight, and he could have ran off and maybe grabbed some of the other kids and went and got help, is what they were saying, the prosecution.
Gosh.
Anyways,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think you would end with.
I have no clue.
Start with him. Actually, I would think you would start with the hardest.
Yeah.
But, anyways, and so then the defense played videos of her interviews where she looked like shit.
And she had those big pupils.
She had her big pupils, and she was describing her hallucinations and how she would be. The kids would be watching cartoons, and the cartoons were talking to her and telling her to kill her kids, and how those hallucinations happened.
She already had been into the psych ward like so many times. And she's been on medication, and they're flushing them, and they had this crazy person telling them what to do and saying devil, 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 and lived in a bus.
That ought to be it right there. That ought to be like end of story. Well, this guy named Park Dietz got on the stand, and he was just this big like tool. And he got up there and he basically wanted to brag on himself. He worked on big high profile cases like Bundy, Dahmer, Susan Smith.
Dang.
And he also thought he was just this American badass because he worked with the creators like Dick Wolf and Law and Order.
Oh, yeah.
And he just kind of collaborated with them. So when they had psychotic, actors play, he kind of told them what it should look like.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then he testified that the week that Andrea drowned her kids, that Law and Order aired an episode of a mom who drowned her kids and got away with it because she was declared incompetent. So he made the jury believe that this was planned, premeditated, and that she was faking her psychosis.
Okay. Really?
That put the nail in her coffin.
Really?
Yes.
Did she even have a TV? She used to live in a bus.
She was guilty, 5 counts of murder, and sentenced to life in prison. They didn't give her the death penalty.
Yeah, that's what she wanted, to be guilty anyways.
Yes. But her lawyer didn't think that was fair. Because should she be in prison with these real hardened criminals that are, well, I don't know if they're sane. Her lawyer was like, she needs to be in an institution. She's truly psychotic.
Yes.
And then Park Dietz, it ended up coming out. Like the lawyer did his interview and said with Law and Order guy, Dick Wolf. And Dick Wolf was like, we've never aired an episode like that ever.
He made that up?
He made it up.
And they didn't even look into it?
And he later said, it was too late. Like that was like the last thing. He later said that he got all his cases mixed up.
I can't. Whoever this red-faced guy is.
Yeah. So she got a new trial. She was found guilty. But by reason of insanity, and she was transferred from the prison, I think she was in Gatesville, to psychiatric hospital in Kerrville. Well, she remains still till this day.
She's in Kerrville?
Kerrville.
She's in Kerrville right now?
Yeah, right now. State hospital.
Why are we not going there?
She's locked up. Rusty stayed by her side. He didn't blame her. He blamed the psychoticness.
Rusty, blame yourself.
Yeah, you should blame himself.
Come on now, Rusty.
He would visit Andrea once a month, and he called her. They eventually divorced.
Clearly.
And he remarried in 2006 and had another son.
Oh, well, good for you, Rusty.
But
did
then
she live in a bus too?
They divorced probably because he was going to make her live in a bus.
Oh my gosh,
and Rusty still keeps a low profile. He doesn't get out much. They think he still works for NASA, but we really just don't know.
Well, he probably done working for SpaceX with Elon Musk with all his controversy going on right now. Woo.
Andrea's lawyer still talks to her twice a month, visits her. She is like a daughter to him. And he takes flowers and maintains the kids' graves for her since she can't. And in the 20 years, because this was 20 years ago that she did this, they have never discussed that day and the tragedy. He just tried to help her because he knew she was psychotic. But
what's the latest? She
comes up for review.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So every April she comes up for review, And that's where
mean?
you have a hearing to see if she's ready to be released. And she
Why
declines
would she be
it.
released if she got life in prison?
No, they
That was the
overturned that.
They overturned it.
that.
Then they gave her what?
Guilty. Not guilty by reason of insanity. So she's in a state hospital because it wasn't her fault, basically. She's taking her meds, but she declines because she knows she needs to be in there.
If you're ruled not guilty by reason of insanity, what does that mean?
That means
you just have to go to an insane asylum until you're not insane?
Until you come up for review.
And then you can get out?
And some people do get out.
Even though you killed
Kemper got out.
But okay, so I'm just saying but you can get out.
Yeah.
Even though you've killed all these people.
Yeah. Because it wasn't
now
you.
You're not sane anymore. Now you're not insane anymore.
Maybe.
But technically that's what that means.
It's I think Yeah,
I know. That's just interesting.
Yeah.
But they know.
Is that where Manson is, or is Manson in prison?
I thought he's
Charles Manson.
Well, Marilyn Manson's about to be going on to trial.
Oh, God. Okay, so she declines it. Her last one was April 6, 2022, and she declined that.
Yeah.
She does not want to get out. She probably knows she does not need to be out. She also knows she needs to be punished because, think about it, she went crazy and killed 5 of her kids.
I know. It's like you have to know
live with
that something, you have to be some kind of sane to know something's wrong enough to where you don't want to get out of the asylum.
Now she's good. Now she's on medicine. She's getting therapy.
Yes.
Now she's good.
And she doesn't trust herself to get out.
Or I think it's more she feels like this is her punishment. She's going to take her penance. She's not going to get out. Plus this case was too big. And people
What would you even do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
She did ask for one pass. She wanted a spiritual pass because she wanted to go to church on Sundays. But they denied it because the case is too high profile. There'd be paparazzi and everybody. I don't know about paparazzi, but, there would be people all over the church. Media. It would be a distraction. I would definitely be at that church just to get a picture.
Yeah.
I'd join. Oh, we're members.
Oh, yes.
Clear Creek Baptist Church. Welcome to Pullen family. Y'all, that's Andrea Yates. We are done. Mike's kicking us out. Caroline has a date. We hope you enjoyed this Crazy Killer Mama month.
He's like, what? What are you talking about? Tell us really quickly what do you think about her? What's your thoughts?
So all these moms I didn't feel sorry for. And I feel sorry for Andrea Yates to where when I went to bed, I wrote the story last night when I went to bed, I was like, is everything that I'm seeing, is it really there? Your mind can turn on you and it's really scary. Rusty said that she was weak, which I do think she was not weak, but she was weak. Like she was a perfect target she was psychotic, I think, from the beginning. Like her chemicals were messed up. She had a chemical imbalance. Mm-hmm. And so if this was going to happen to anybody, it was going to happen to her. Then all the other shit you throw in, the Warnickis and Rusty being a dumbass and
just everything
it's just a horrible
mixed
recipe
together in the worst way.
Yeah.
I thought that too, because I was like, she doesn't seem like she's not like this Diane Stouty who's trying to kill her family because she doesn't like them.
Yeah.
She literally has mental issues that she can't.
Yeah.
She has to have medicine. They kept throwing it out. And just think about going on and off medicine, on, off.
Yeah.
That's going to mess you up.
Yeah. She still thinks that she was possessed by the devil, and so does Rusty. And if you believe in God, you got to believe in the devil. If you believe in angels, you got to believe in demons. So that's a whole nother, conversation to have. But
it's a mental health thing.
It's mental health.
Big, it's
or
real.
Was she possessed? You think she was Satan? Think Satan jumped in her body? Rusty said Satan's job is to steal, kill, and destroy, and she was the perfect container.
I think she was just
Satan
easily
to take over. Manipulated. It's the devil.
Well,
it was the devil.
I was probably easily manipulated by the devil too, and his name was Dirty Chad. So I understand, but I didn't kill nobody.
Woo! Okay, y'all go on.
That was great.
Tell them what to do. What do they need to do? Rate,
review,
and subscribe.
and subscribe.
And send us an email and RSVP for the live show.
Great job. That was so good.
Thank you.
Next time we're doing what? Guilty, innocent?
Yes, for our birthday month. We are going to sing happy birthday every podcast. Not really. But we're going to do guilty.
Mike was like, nah. He's like, yeah, I'm singing it. Mike's going to sing happy birthday every episode next week. Next 4 weeks.
Let's get some balloons. We're going to get some balloons. Guilty or innocent. So very debatable stories that I think will bring in some good debate. So I have some favorites that are in my head that I know I want to do. But if you have a favorite, guilty or innocent, like Darlie or who else?
OJ.
OJ, send us some ideas.
Kaylee Anthony, top mom.
Casey, she's guilty.
Kaylee. Which one?
Kaylee's the kid.
Oh gosh, I keep calling.
Yeah.
I keep saying Kaylee Anthony, and I keep saying Darlene Routier. I don't know.
It's Darlie Routier. That's got to happen. That's a good story. So send us your suggestions, and just never forget
Don't forget to.
Okay. So always wait.
Always don't.
Hey, you're off there. Is it never or don't?
Don't.
Okay. Y'all, don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Maybe for our second year, we'll get this part down. Bye, y'all.
Doubt it. Bye.
Never, always, or
never,
whatever.
always, every time.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It's all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues on January 20th through the 22nd, 2023. Tickets are on sale now at roguecon23.com.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.